Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a grim looking rack, all bingo-y tiles, but duplicates, and the vowels aren't the bingo-y ones, or aren't the most bingo-y. So I'm not seeing a 7 here. I don't think there's an 8. But I will have options in terms of sorting the rack out, so I don't think changing is going to be the best play. T and R are certainly good, but no benefit in keeping 2 of them. So I could play Rotel or Turl. Great, opponent has played, just 16 points. Wager is good. Let me briefly consider the floaters in case an 8 springs to mind. Nothing with the W, A, G, E. E looks most useful. I would have ER ending, but I'm not seeing anything. I can get value from wager by playing Rotel for 17. Great. I draw an A and an E. This is a balanced rack, no duplicates. B and K together means probably no bingo. However, tie break is good through an E. Okay, E of wager doesn't work. What else do I have? Fantastic! Opponent provides an E in the perfect place. Unbelievable. Tie break for 106. Bang! And look at this for a pick. I have drawn Zutia. Is there anywhere for that? Gosh, what a stroke of good fortune. Poor opponent just jettisoning some vowels, and they get hit with a 100-point double-double. Now, opponent has not obliged by providing a Zutia spot. Am I sure there isn't one on the board as it stands? Don't think so. Tsar and OK are both good, but there's not quite enough squares at the right-hand side of row D. Now, opponent scored well with chins, 50 points, so I don't have a vast lead. What to do? Could there be another bingo other than Zutia that's available? Well, there isn't another 7. Where are the floaters? Nothing looks good in chins. What about L? No. How about T? No. G and E? No. So how can I get value from the Z? I've got Zori. Here. For 43, which is pretty good, not a bad rack leave. Not providing much, although a P would slot in nicely. Can I do any better? That's 43. What about a play in column 8? Well, it's only going to score about the same. I've got an I for going under the Q, but I think I should be looking to get rid of the Z this turn. What about playing just Zoo here? And the reason for that is this is a much better rack leave than Toe. And it's still over 40 points. Gosh, I hope I'm not missing a bingo here. I didn't consider ST, but I'm not seeing anything with that. I'm going with Zoo. Wow, not a great pick. 2 N's and a Y. Through an A and something else, I would have various variants of tyranny. Nothing through AI. Just the one U has been played, so column 1 quite hot to whoever draws a U, well, that's been taken out by opponents, and only 20 points. Fantastic. So, what can I do? Is Tinnery good? Something tells me it isn't. But since it's Void Challenge and since there is a spot for it, I am going to try, but I'm sure it's not good. And it isn't. I don't think entrying is good, and I'm not going to disgrace myself by trying that. What about ST? No, and did I think of Tinnery because there's a valid anagram? Nothing with the L. And what about AI? I've got train. Well, the Y is likely to be at the end of the word or the beginning. Inter is a really good prefix, but not with NY. So, how can I get value from the Y? Yok is good. So I do have this, 24 points. Pretty hopeless. And I'm not getting value from the Z. So although this is racking, surely this is much better, 37 points and an okay 2-letter rack leave. Is this the play? I could play one square higher up, but the Y is getting doubled here, so this is a better spot. I could be missing a bingo here. Anyway, I am going with this entry for 37. So this looks tantalisingly close. Wow, good score for opponent. I lead by only 50. And opponent takes out the best floater, which is okay, I guess. Wager takes an S. I've got one, but I don't think I have a bingo here. Venin is good and Venines, but that's only one I. Entry takes C, G, and S. I've got one of those. I minded to burn the S to sort the rack out. So I could play Venins here. But am I sorting the rack out and wrecking my rack only to provide just the floater that opponent needs to bingo? That would be galling. And I could draw 6 junky tiles. So is there any way to play just VIN, keeping EINS, which is really good? Vex is good. Invex isn't. Wow, tricky decision. I do need to sort the duplicates out, which is why Venin's appealed. Still 2 S's to come and both blanks. Let me revisit this. Is this really so terrible? Well, what might be slightly better is Vines. Then I'm not sticking an E in the open. And this rack leave is slightly better. 29 points. Visney also good. Yeah, I am going with this. Wow, and I draw the blank, and the rest of the rack looks pretty close. So, where to look? There are 7-letter lanes in... Well, there is a 7-letter lane. Nice play by opponent. 30 points, just the one tile. 7-letter lane in column 14. And in row B, if I had a C, G, or S. So let me try and find a bingo and then look for a better one. So anything with a C. No. G, I have the ing ending. Not seeing anything. How about an S? No. Okay, that's a bit alarming. Let me just look for any old 7 and see if it plays in column 14. Surely there is something. Maybe I'm hampered by my lack of an E. Franion is good. Rachel may take an S, I'm not sure. I think Artal may be the plural. What about ovines? Does ovine take an S? If it does, then I have Franion. 11 minutes on my clock. Iron Man is good. That doesn't play in column 14. So just Franion and Iron Man so far. Gosh, I thought this rack was going to be very straightforward in terms of finding a bingo. What about row I, ending ing? Surely something. I have groaning. Okay, that is a bingo. But Franion's going to be a lot better if all the words are good. And they are unbelievable. Fantastic. Never in doubt. So, 100-odd point lead. I'm in good shape. And I've drawn... Oh, wow. Opponent. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Look at this. I have Verismos. Good grief. Verismos for 176 points. Bang! Unbelievable. Surely that's the game in the bag with 23 tiles to come. 200-point lead. Wow. 176 points. Amazing. I'd spotted Verismo, couldn't see anywhere for it, although of course it would have played in row B with Sentry, but I didn't have time to spot that before opponent placed the S in just the right spot. And that's the second time opponent's done that because, of course, they placed the E for tie-break. Wow. So, what do we have now? I mustn't go on tilt. And must seek to win by the biggest possible margin. Surely opponent is not coming back from this deficit. Although there are still lanes on the board, but I think opponent, even if they had 3 back-to-back bingos, it wouldn't be enough. This is a balanced rack. I've got good scoring tiles and vowels and no duplicates. Just 25 for opponent. I have the full ending with Mackay. This doesn't look bingo-y, but there could be one. I don't think claimful is good. No, not seeing a bingo here. But I do have this spot in row H, and my C can get doubled. Let me put that in. So I have March, I have Lurch. Interesting. 2 U's to come, so even though March scores more, $39 points. I think I want the extra points. Yep, 45 points. I'm going with this. Great, I dodged the U's. The Scrabble gods are smiling on me today. And look at this, no duplicates. I have Julep on my rack. This entry hook has stayed available for a lot longer than I was expecting. Can't see anything across from the D, which uses the J. What about column 8 onto this R? Gosh, I haven't been paying that particularly close attention. Okay, well, it's still available. I'm looking to play the J. No, not seeing anything. So where can my J play? Still 14 tiles left. Wow. And I'm over 500 points. JAI is good. UG is good. Wow, no JU plays on my rack. 8 minutes on my clock. So, I could play Julep. 27 points, which is decent. I am sorting my rack out. I'm getting rid of 2 out of the 3 scoring tiles. I'm also dumping the U. I'm taking out a bingo lane, which is, I think, still the right thing to do, despite my lead. And I'm turning over tiles, increasing the chances of drawing the G for Gentry and the blank. Both of which I missed, but I've also managed to miss the final U. Well, I've drawn 1 U. I didn't draw both of them, so it was good to get rid of the 1. So no bingo with this rack. 9 tiles in the bag, 7 minutes on my clock. Can I get to 600? I need 49 more points. So I have Abaft bottom right, which will score handsomely. Not many scoring tiles left, just the F and Y over 3 points in value. Row B is quite hot if you can land a big tile on this triple letter square. Wow, such a nice game. More than 100 points for both tiebreak and Verismos. Makes a big difference. Still 14 minutes on opponent's clock. I don't see, well, opponent's gone in the spot I was thinking I couldn't use. Now, opponent's provided an F spot, but I'm still minded to play down here. Although this is going to empty the bag and leave me with a dismal rack leave. So 4 tiles left. £34 points, which isn't massively lower. I'm still keeping AB for a play in row O. Opponent's not going to score massively in that spot. Gosh, this leaves 1 in the bag, and it preserves a scoring tile in the B. 6 minutes on my clock. Where else can my F go? Or my B? AUF is good. 34 points. And any alternative to a Baft bottom right. So opponents just played random tiles. Probably didn't have the blank, but has slightly more likely than not to have drawn it. Opponent can get no value at all from this triple letter square. They can get value at the bottom. I'm playing a Baft for 43. And am I about to regret that? Have I provided the floater opponent needs for a bingo? The opponent's got True Card, which they've just blocked with Defied. Stroke of good fortune. Does that play anywhere else? So 14 minutes on opponent's clock, 6 on mine. What am I going to do? I've got another scoring tile in the Y, which is good. I'm not going out in 1. I don't think I've had a single front hook for entry ever since I set that up. Great, just 18 for opponent. They are going to go out next turn, so I just need to find my best play with this rack. So I certainly want to play off the Y. 5 minutes. Yock is good. Where else is big? Dexy is good, but I can't get that to play more than once. Obeer is good, but I don't have a YAWO play. Opa is good. I don't want to keep opponent for 14 minutes. They can't be feeling that good. So I could play you for 16. Yeah, I'm minded to do this. Put opponent out of their misery. And opponent surely is going out with Gat, and I have gone over 600 points. Fantastic. Yeah. And the final score, 391 for opponent, 610 for me, a winning margin of 219 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow. What a game. Gosh, opponent shot off fairly smartish. And it was opponent to go fast, not a great rack. They play Wage. And K8 Rotal, that was my play. Opponent plays Uoi. And look at this, tie break for 106. I thought this was going to be the highlight of the game, but it wasn't. Now, opponent's rack. They played Chins. Phew, no missed bingo here, but D10. Well, Zooia, that's not massively different to Zoo. It's 8 more points, but I think EIRT is probably 8 points better than T. T's an ice tile, probably worth about 1. EIRT is really good, and I would say that's worth 10. Yeah, around 10. So I think these rack leaves have a 9-point difference, and there's an 8-point score difference, so I prefer my play. Opponent's rack plays Wid. Phew, I keep waiting for a Mr. Bingo to blot my copybook. But it hasn't happened. But 90, that's a better play than entry. Slightly more points and avoids that dangerous front hook. Opponent plays Z, so they're still in touch at this point, just 50 points in it. Now, Viner A8. Yeah, that's nice. Preserves the S, keeps a decent rack leave. What do? I get just 2 more points sacrificing the S, so Viner definitely would have been better. Opponent plays Zap. And now I have Franion for 73. And wow, look how many other bingos were available, and I was struggling to find any. Andiron in the same spot. Nonaries through this E. Inornate onto this E. Nanowire, non-rival through the V. And on it goes. But Franion looks like the pick of the bunch. And look at this magnificent sight of opponent playing haltings and placing the S right here. So my rack, and there it is in all its glory, Verismo's for 176. And the only other bingo playable was the same word, well, unpluralized, in row B. So what a stroke of good fortune. And quite unusually, with this many tiles left, the win was secured. Opponent plays Dean, and I have March for 45. Opponent plays Doe. Wow, I wasn't expecting Julep to come up top of the shop, but it has. Yep, that looks fine. Opponent. Oh, wow, I was just about to say a long way from a bingo, but there is a bingo here. F1, tumified through the M of March. Very difficult one to see. Opponent plays Defied. I have Abaft. No bingo here. Opponent has blocked Trucage. They play Kerf. And I play U for 16. I could have got 10 more points. L12. Oh, using the C that opponents provided, I could have played Lacey for 26. Okay. And finally, opponent goes out with Gats for 23. So what an amazing game. Absolutely astonishing stuff. Superb fun to get the tie-break down as a double-double, more than 100 points. Then Franian and then Verismo. So all of the bingos were special in their own way, but Verismo, the standout play as a triple 9-timer, 176 points. So absolutely magnificent fun. Many thanks to opponent for a good game and for staying until the end. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.